The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversations and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now, here's your hosts Frank Allan and Brian Camp.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Welcome once again to another edition of Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 1 a.m. in London, 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. And we're going to be here for a whole full hour. Brian Camp and myself, who is my co-host, he's coming to you pretty soon. He'll be coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And of course, he's going to deliver the latest developments in today's world of sports as well. We want to thank all of you and all of you who've been around with us for all of these years. We thank you so much for hopping aboard, never missing a beat. Of course, we're going to keep on thanking you, and we want you to tell your family and friends about the show. I also want to thank all of my people who come in, maybe for the very first time in the show, and they just want to check it out. And of course, you're welcome as well. You're just as important as the rest of the people who've been around with us for so many years. Let me show you what the show is all about. Now, as the host of the show, I get things started, which I'm doing now. I'm in the prep mode. And while I'm prepping, at any time at all, you can enjoy conversation as well. All you have to do is use the keyboard on your computer, on your cell phone, and your tablet, or whatever device that you use to communicate and watch us. You do that, and I will see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of ideas and of opinions. We have them all. I have them, you have them, we all have them. So what we're going to do, all of the opinions that are expressed on this show, we're going to combine them all together, make it as one. And we'll discuss whatever you want to talk about. Because if you want to talk about anything specific, even though I may throw out something as a conversation piece just to get started, you can do that because we don't have to linger on one thing too long. We can keep going around because if it's important to you, it's important to us, and we want to entertain you with all of your thoughts and ideas. Got a good show planned for you today. As I said, Brian will come along later on with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Later on, I have this thing they call This Day in History. Now, something went down on this day in history on this day, the 25th of June. Something happened way back when. I have a laundry list of all of that, so we'll tell you about that later on. And before the show is over, we have those movies. Now, each week, I go into the Turner Classic Vault and bring out all of the movies that I think are well worth watching. My picks of the week for your weekend, because your weekend is coming up. And one of the things that you may want to do is catch up on some movies that you haven't seen in a long time, and particularly if they're classic. Now, I know you're resourceful, and we all are, because now we have more than just one thing to linger on. We have like apps galore. By whether they're premium apps or free apps, you could find movies at your disposal at any time. But I just want to throw my 2 cents in because you want to see some of these classic movies. So I'll have that for you coming up. Want all of you guys to know, especially you guys who are new, that we are live each week, and we come on live on 2 different venues. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. So wherever you are, you could watch us there and tell your family and friends about it. And let them know that we really appreciate them and get them in on the action. My co-host Brian Camp is here out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Brian, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing a little bit better now. I've been up all night, as you may know.
Yeah.
When you sleep at the airport, the airport's got to do something better about have a certain time where they give you enough time. Even though if you have an early morning flight, they could at least let you go into the gate that you're going in and just stretch out there Instead, we got to be in the middle of the floor, where arrivals or and departures are at, and there's no cushion, there's no outlets until you have to find one, and then it's hard. It's hard doing that. Yes, it is
I
really
thought
hard.
you, I thought you were able to go into the gate when you arrived. How come they
You
didn't?
could go to the airport unless if you have a midnight flight. The airports don't have midnight flights unless if you're going into a different country where it's 6 hours difference and so on. They do have late night flights in the States, but it's like going out foreign countries and everything. This was domestic, and so that's why I wasn't able to be able to do that. But
Are you well rested at least?
after the show, I'm going back to bed.
I don't blame you.
I
We're
just
talking
woke up. I just woke up 2 hours ago. So
really.
yeah, I'm still trying. I've had two naps already, but yeah, I'm still not fully. I gotta get up early in the morning. I have to go
Oh,
to the gym. So you know,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. God. Well, let's see how fast we can get this show rolling and get.
Turbo.
I yeah, I wish I could turn the clock like real quick so we can get out of here. But to all of the people were wondering what the conversation was all about. Brian was here in New York. He's still how many days you spent here in New York again?
5 days.
5 days. He was 5 days here in New York. And I got to see him yesterday. So he was here. And he went directly to the airport from, where we were.
Hmm.
Uh, but you had an adventure. You came here to see your grandson's graduation, something, right?
Yes, yes, graduation, and I was a surprise. He had a graduation celebration on the Saturday when I arrived. Just
Hmm.
got off the bus, didn't even take down my luggage and everything. And he was surprised to see me. He gave me a big, 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 tight hug. And
Hmm.
then the next day, Sunday, his father, my son, and we went fishing. And we caught some porgies. Well, they caught some porgies, but since I'm their father and grandfather, it's we, not them,
Yeah.
or isolated. I get credit for it. And we had some porgies, and we that was our dinner, believe it or not. And then I went to a homegoing service funeral on Tuesday, and
Yeah.
Wednesday was the graduation day. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's good to know that you're back. You landed safely back in Charlotte.
Oh
And
yes.
let's see how fast we can get this show
We don't
rolling.
have to rush. I'm good to go. I have a
Well, let's.
Canada Dry soda right here, so I'm good to go.
All right. And I have my bottled water too. So we'll see what happens. And I can't move the clock. The clock, even if I move the clock, it won't do any good anyway. But we'll
It's
do
fine.
the best I can. You're going to have sports later on. You got sports coming up,
Yes.
and a lot of it. And of course, you co-hosting with me as you do each week on this show. So I want to tell the people that if they're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're celebrating the month of June. June is almost over. Here we are. It's the 25th of June. It's almost over.
Yeah.
It looked like it. I just seemed like it almost started. Just started.
Exactly. Yeah. Time is going by fast,
It is.
Before you know it, next week could be the 4th of July.
And next week I'll be 95. That's how quick the time goes. And I got to tell you, when I was young, when I was young, when you're young, you want to be an adult quick, you
Yes.
know. And my mother used to always say to me, she said, "Don't grow up too fast." Now I understand because now
Hmm.
that I'm older, time goes quicker, and I don't like that. Slow it down a bit.
Slow it
Slow it
down.
down.
No rush.
Anyway, for the rest of this month, we're celebrating National Portuguese Heritage Month. So anyone in the Portuguese community in Portugal, even if you live in Portugal, because we broadcast there as well. We're celebrating you. If you have any activities going on in your community, and of course, you want to talk about it here on the show, or you want to talk about your culture, anything, something exciting, you could talk about it anytime you want. Caribbean American Heritage Month as well. I love the Caribbean. And there are people here in this country from Portugal and from the Caribbean, and there are different parts of the Caribbean. So wherever you are, and even if you're in the Caribbean and you're watching the show, we still celebrate you too. And if you have any activities going on in the Caribbean community, of course, you can tell us about it. We want to celebrate with you. African American Music Month, all month long. They even advertise it on TV. I see, depending on what you're watching, African American music, and that could range from anything, from the root music of gospel to R&B to jazz, all of that. What is your favorite? Also, National Soul Food Month. Now, especially if you're in New York, if you haven't had soul food, then you should try. You should try all kinds of great stuff. All kinds of big spreads. I remember as a kid, let's have a big spread every Sunday after church. You couldn't wait to get home from church. As a matter of fact, when mother sent you out to church, you didn't look forward to church. You look forward to just getting there and coming back out so you can get home and have a nice dinner. It's
Absolutely.
National Soul Food Month, and we're coming down to the wire with all of this stuff, including Pride Month. That's here too as well, and people are celebrating that. And I haven't heard any parades here in New York. It might have passed me by. I don't know. Did you have any big
I have
celebration?
not heard of it at all. When I was in New York, had nothing about a
Hmm.
parade.
Yeah.
The Pride Parade is usually down on Sixth Avenue.
Hmm.
They usually have it down on Sixth Avenue, Avenue of the Americas,
Hmm.
but for some reason they didn't have it at. Not that I know. Maybe early in the month, you know.
Could be, and then maybe they did, and I just didn't know about it. National DJ Month for all of you guys who are radio DJs or club DJs or mobile DJs. We want to salute you all this month. Uh, it's your month and the kind of music that you play, whatever it is. And I hope a lot of that music is African American music because it's African American Music Month. So how did you? So your stay in New York was okay, right? It's
It
just
was
that.
well, my trip coming into New York was not okay. You know,
Oh boy,
you know,
you told me this story.
Thank you, Mr. President, for raising up the bills in the course of where I couldn't rent a car or take a flight or take a train, but I had to take a private bus where they said free Wi-Fi. Oh, okay, so let me bring my tools and everything. Why did I believe that? First of all, had a woman that was sitting across from me from the aisle. She has a French accent. She's from Haiti, and she was talking on the phone to another man. I would assume that's her significant other or whatever. But there ain't that much love in the world to be talking 12 midnight to 4 a.m. in the morning nonstop and waking and can't go to sleep. Why of all the places on the bus, of all the seats, she has to land right next to me. Then the person that was actually sitting next to me was snoring. So so yeah, was I grumpy? I was grumpy. You back in New York, you got to be careful. Some crazy folks, because when you're on the bus, they don't check you for any kind of substance or weapons or whatever. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't want to warn anybody out there, but it is what it is. And I was just like saying, my goodness, can't this woman just please shut up? That yes, I said, can't she please shut up? Then got the nerve to lay on the arm of her chair. This was around 3-ish in the morning, and she was still talking, and it was on speaker. Nobody don't want to listen to your conversation on the speaker. So that was my punishment where I couldn't, I blame my son for that because my son should have told me this in advance that my grandson, his son is graduating, then I could have just had time to book a good flight and everything. But no, I wasn't paying no $500, $600 for one way. And so that really messed me up. And so when I got off at 31st and 8th Avenue, I looked at her and I snarled at her, but I couldn't say anything. I was so glad to get away from her. I was so glad to get away from her. and the lady that was snoring next to me, I just don't understand how people could be so inconsiderate. You know, nobody don't want to hear your conversation. I don't want to hear it. Nobody don't want to hear it. Keep your business to yourself. And that's what was my time. And then of course coming back was a little bit decent. I was able to get a flight one way, had my granddaughter, and couldn't wait to get home. And I was dozing off, but I was able to get to bed. I told my granddaughters when they're here, don't bother me. Figure it out. Get something to eat. Just don't put on the stove. Just get some cereal. Just don't bother me. Let me go to sleep. And to their credit, they left me alone. And then I woke up around 12 noon and went back to sleep around 3 and watched a little World Cup. So,
Well,
all
here's
right.
hoping you will never have to face that again.
Hope
Keep your
not.
fingers crossed.
That's right.
Clive Davis, the legendary music producer of industry icons of Janis Joplin and Whitney Houston and Billy Joel and Santana, has died. Davis was uh, famously dubbed as the man with the golden ears, and his family confirmed his death in a social media post. His publicist also confirmed his death on CNN. Davis's family remembered him as both a towering figure whose influenced changed music forever. He was hospitalized in late May for an upper respiratory issue, but was discharged earlier this month. David was 95. Former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, who hailed as the maestro of directing a booming economy, but who later received some of the blame for housing bust and financial meltdown that occurred after he left office, has died, according to his wife, journalist Andrea Mitchell. Greenspan served 5 terms as Fed chairman under 4 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan, who nominated him in 1987, and his term under George W. Bush expired in 2006, and his 18th and a half year tenure in the second largest or the longest as head of the nation's central bank. He was 100 years old. I should live so long. Keep my fingers crossed.
Mm.
Brian, what do you got for sports today?
All right. Got some sports here. A lot of stuff that's going on. First, let me give you my temperature here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Can you imagine? I was just maybe 10 hours away ago where I was in New York City, in the Big Apple. Now I'm back here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where it is presently 82 degrees. 82 degrees. Um, Kind of warm, but we got some pretty good temperatures here in North Carolina. But let me get to some sports. There's some as much as more. It's some we got some news in sports, but New York Jet quarterback Geno Smith is being investigated for an incident in which a woman accused him of battery. Police in Davie, Florida, said on this week, and one day after indicating that the matter was closed. Now, when you are being charged for something like that, that thing is never closed. It's stalling. And they did just brought it up. So now he's been being investigated right now. Officers were summoned to Smith's home Sunday afternoon after a woman claiming to be his ex-girlfriend called 911 and said she was assaulted by him. His career is officially over. Even if there's something like this, it got back. I don't want to sound so shrill about it, but whenever there's something like this, the NFL is gonna, or any sports, they're gonna act very quickly. They didn't do the official word. I guess they're gonna just try to be very, how would you say? They're gonna say, well, let's see if he's innocent. He's innocent to proven guilty, and that's how where we stand now. The police spokesman issued an update to ESPN. We were informed Monday the evening that during the review, it was determined that this case is being further investigated by detectives and are active, and we cannot release any additional information at this time. The California Post obtained audio of the 911 call saying the woman was tearful and told the 911 dispatcher, "My ex-boyfriend just beat me up." I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know if this is true. Either way, it doesn't look good. And if it's true, shame on you. You don't put your hands on nobody, especially a woman. Simple as that. But so that's where we are. Now quarterback Brendan Sorsby will not be having and supplemented draft. Nope, not happening. They elected not to hold a draft. The NFL decision came down to its right to decide whether to hold a supplementary draft or not, and it was been by the collective bargaining agreement. That's the terms of it. The league officials said that they believe it would ultimately become a distraction to teams as they begin training camp. They start training camp soon, so we're gonna, you know, there's no distraction. They want the players to come back. Um, Not so much sad news, but tennis Hall of Famer Chris Everett Lloyd said Thursday that her ovarian cancer has returned and that the treatment will prevent her from attending Wimbledon this year. Now Wimbledon, and this is tennis, is one of the grand slams of tennis, one of the prestige tournament held in England. And Everett is an all-time great. She was first diagnosed of the cancer back in December of 2021. In December of 2023, she revealed her cancer had returned. She announced that on social media on Thursday that she already has had surgery at the first step in her treatment and the recovery. After the test revealed the cancer had returned again, she said that she will begin chemotherapy in the coming weeks. Chris Everett, as you may know, is like I said, is one of the all-time greats. Was 18. She won 18 Grand Slam singles. That's Wimbledon, French Open, Australia Open, and of course the U.S. Open held in Queens, New York, and remain prominent in the sport as an analyst for ESPN. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Chrissy Everett, one of the greats of all time. Major League Baseball, a part of a next collective bargain agreement with players, Major League Baseball wants a maximum contract length of 5 years. So what this means is that for free agents who are switching teams, while organizations will have the ability to keep their own players up to 6 years, calling it a cornerstone in the player's provision. The potential change to free agent will comes as the league address reserves clauses issues in a meeting earlier this week, actually today, with the Major League Baseball Players Association, and would take effect after the 2027 season. Um, the league proposed includes raising the minimum salary from $780,000 to $1 million in 2027. The league for players with at least 2 years of service time. Any player with 0 or 1+ years of service time will receive $1 million if they receive a full year of service, which includes 900,000 minimum salary plus an or automatic $100,000 bonus sign when you sign the contract. So basically, what this means that if you become a free agent, this is what they're still talking about it. This is part of the new CBA that they're trying to get. That if you are going to be a free agent, you got to stay with your new team for at least 5 years. That's what it comes down to, for 5 years. So let's see what happens there. This day in sports, June 25th, 1903. Wally Platt is the only 20th century pitcher to lose two complete games in one day. Probably had a doubleheader, and he pitched both games. You don't even see that. Pitchers today pitch every fifth day. This pitcher in 1903 played pitch in both games of a doubleheader, I would assume, and were complete games, which is 9 innings. In 1934, Lou Gehrig hits for the cycle, beating the Chicago White Sox 11-2. What is a cycle? I'm glad you asked. A cycle is when you hit a base hit, double, triple, and a home run in the same game. That's called a cycle. 1968, Bobby Bonds, not Barry Bonds, but his father, Bobby Bonds, hits a grand slam home run in his first major league game. 1986, Philadelphia gives Steve Carlton 41 his unconditional release. In 1997, Wake Forest power forward Tim Duncan is the first pick for the San Antonio Spurs. 1999, San Antonio Spurs defeated the New York Knicks 78-77 in Game 5 of their first title. Tim Duncan was Finals MVP. Here it is, just a week or so ago. The Knicks just defeated the Spurs. This is from 1999 that we just talked about, all the way to 2026. The Knicks returned the favor in the same exact games. In 2009, Oklahoma power forward Blake Griffin's the first pick by the LA Clippers. Birthdays on this day. Happy birthday, 1942, to the late Willis Reed, Hall of Fame center, 2 times Finals MVP, and also All-Star. He was a 7-time All-Star and coach. Was born in Dubach, Louisiana. 1949, Phyllis George. Well, 1971 was Miss America sportscaster for CBS. Was born in Denton, Texas. Phyllis George was a gorgeous woman back in those days. And who replaced her? Another beautiful woman, Jane Kennedy. CBS knew how to pick beautiful women. That's how you keep your ratings up. Hire a beautiful woman, everybody tunes in. In 1963, Mike Stanley, Major League Baseball infielder, New York Yankees, was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 1964, Dale Curry, NBA guard, broadcaster, Sixth Man of the Year award, was born in Harrisburg, Virginia. 1968, 66, Dikembe Mutombo, the one that shakes his finger, no, 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 when he blocks a shot. NBA center, 4 times Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time All-Star, was born in Leopoldville, Congo, in Africa. And in 1972, happy birthday to Carlos Delgado, Major League Baseball infielder for the Toronto Blue Jays, was born in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. Aguelo, Puerto Rico. Now this is gonna end the month of Pride Month and Caribbean Pride Month as well too. So I'm gonna have this segment here. It took me a while. While I was in New York, I was doing this too. I was doing the research, and well, there's so many Caribbean Americans who gave so much to this country. Couldn't name them all because I mean you be I'll be going here all night and everything. I might fall asleep on you if I was to do that, but no, we are not going to do that. But here's my top 10 that I picked. And they're not really top 10, but these are names, are prominent names. Marcus Garvey, Jamaica, founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Garvey was a pioneer of the Pan-American African and Black nationalism movement. His advocacy for self-reliance and racial pride inspired generations of civil rights leaders globally. That's around the world. Number 2, hey, hey, Harry Belafonte, Jamaican, Martinique, raised between Harlem and the Caribbean. His legendary entertainer was a crucial financial and logistic backbone of the civil rights leader. He was a big part of the civil rights leader too, and let me say, raising funds for Martin Luther King Jr. and personally bailing activists out of jail. So he did that. Malcolm X, Born Malcolm Little was born in May 19th, 1926. Was an American Muslim minister and human rights activist who was a prominent figure during, yes, the civil rights movement again, a spokesman for the Nation of Islam. Until 1964, he was a vocal advocate for Black empowerment and a promotional of Islam within the Black community. His mother, Louise Little, was from Grenada. Recent literature was reframe her as a formidable and a nuanced optimist as she struggled to raise her family during the time of racism and harassment. Next one, Cicely Louise Tyson, and that was American actress known for her portrayal of strong African women. Tyson was born in New York City. Immigrant parents were immigrants from Nevis. Her father arrived in New York City at the age of 21. Was preceded at Ellis Island on August 4th. Next one, Maya Angelou was an American poet and civil rights activist. She published seven autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a long list of plays, movies, and television shows spanning over 50 years. She received dozens of awards and was more than 50 honorary degrees. Yeah, 50 degrees. You believe that? Unbelievable. She died in 2014 at the age of 86. She was honored by the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama. Shirley Anita Chisholm was an American politician who in 1968 became the first Black woman to be elected to the U.S. Congress, and in 1972 became the first Black candidate for a major party nomination for President of the United States. There's more, but I'm going to cut it short. Next one, Colin Luther Powell, Colonel. He was a general. I'm sorry. Was an American politician, statesman, diplomat, and the United States Army officer who was the 65th and first Black United States Secretary of State from 2001 to 2005. Stokely Carmichael, and by the way, he was his nationality. Let me go back to Colin Powell, was Jamaican. And prior to that, Shirley Chisholm was from Barbados. Stokely Michael from Trinidad, Tobago, was a key leader from the student coordinated committee. Carmichael also popularized the term Black Power and successfully organized great shots movements in the American South. Rihanna, one of the greatest entertainers of all time from Barbados, born in St. Michael, Barbados. She is a global pop star, R&B icon, and has sold over 250 million records. And finally, the last one, they call me Mr. Tibbs. Sidney Poitier, got to save the best for last. Born in Miami to Bahamian parents who frequently visit the Bahamas, he made his history as the first Black man to win the Academy Awards for Best Actor in Lilies of the Field. He wasn't the first Black person. No, that goes to my lady over there. She's on my wall, Hattie McDaniels. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports and history all lumped into one.
Willie, don't you do it. Don't you do it, Willie. Don't take that money, Willie.
Raisin in the Sun.
Oh, he has to be one of my before Denzel Washington, because Denzel Washington loved him as well. But he had to be my all-time favorite actor back in the day before he died, before he retired. Yeah, you brought out a lot of great people. And Stokely Carmichael, by the way, before he died, he was known as Kwame Ture. Just wanted to throw that in for you, too. And Harry Belafonte, a guy's still making money, even though he's no longer with us. Because you could hear his voice in every stadium. At least I hope they're paying him.
Well, I'm pretty sure his daughters are going to make sure.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just like Tina Sinatra still owns the rights to Frank Sinatra. Same thing. Same thing. Daughters are going. Let me tell you, daughters are going to protect their father's interests, even
absolutely.
Death. That's right.
Absolutely. But yeah, Harry Belafonte's Deo. You can go to. I used to think it was only in Yankee Stadium.
No,
but they're doing it in a lot of stadiums, and that just gets the crowd going. I don't know who started it. I don't know who started it first, but it's all over now.
It's all over.
Anyway, I don't know if they do it in football or not.
I don't think they do it in football, but they do that just to get the home team crowd pumped up.
Yeah.
So that's what they do.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, that was great stuff that you put the people. Yeah, a lot of those people. Some of the people I didn't even West Indian descents. I didn't even know. Like, for instance, Cicely Tyson. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I knew Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte was from where? I can't remember. He's Jamaican.
Jamaican, yeah. I got it right here. Harry was he was the backbone of Human Rights. Yeah. Jamaica, Martinique also.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a song back in the 50s. He used to sing my heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston town. But Kingston is in where?
Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah. There you
Kingston is the capital of Jamaica too, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you're just joining us, everybody, we were talking sports. Thank you, Brian, for that. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're talking back live to you and you and you and you too, Mary Reed, because Mary Reed is watching us right there on YouTube. So
hey, Mary.
Hello to her. She comes in, and she makes what she makes a little grand entrance. We're fashionably late, but she's here.
She's here. Glad to have her. We're glad to have her.
Always glad to have her. Okay, I'm going to take, while you guys are here, I'm going to go back in time. Take everybody back in time on this day in history, because back in time on this day in history, in 1788, Virginia becomes the 10th state to ratify U.S. Constitution. On this day in history in 1798, U.S. President John Adams signs into law the Alien Friends Act, and that's authorizing the president to deport any foreign deemed dangerous to the peace and safety of the United States. On this day in history in 1938, a Tasket by Ella Fitzgerald, back in 1938, it hit #1 on the charts. On this day in history, 1941, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signs Executive Order 8802, which forbids racial discrimination in the defense industry. On this day in history, 1942. Oh, there I am. Okay, 1942. Major General Eisenhower appointed commander U.S. forces in Europe. On this day in history, 1951, first color TV broadcast Arthur Godfrey show, and he hosts a musical variety show entitled Premiere, and that premiered on CBS in New York City to a network in 5 East Coast cities. On this day in history, 1957, the Jonathan Winters show was aired on NBC TV. On this day in history in 1966, KBPS, that's the PBS station, channel 15 in San Diego, California, first broadcast. On this day in history in 1971, Stevie Wonder releases his single, Where I'm Coming From. In 1975, Barry White's Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe is released. 1976, the supernatural horror film The Omen, starring Gregory Peck and Lee Remick, premieres in the United States. Back in 1984, Warner Brothers Records released the sixth studio album by Prince, Purple Rain, and it sells over 25 million copies and wins 2 Grammy Awards and an Emmy Award, Academy Award. On this day in history, in 1993, Late Night with David Letterman airs for the last time on NBC. In 2020, country music band the Dixie Chicks changed their name to the Chicks to remove connotation of a federal Confederate history. It made sense. In 2021, former U.S. police officer Derek Chauvin is sentenced to 22 years and 6 months for the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. In 1925, actress June Lockhart, who played on Lassie, Lost in Space, and Petticoat Junction, was born in New York City. She died in 2025. Let's see, you have civil rights activist James Meredith, was born on this day, 1933, in Kosciuszko. I'm from Brooklyn, so I say Kosciuszko, Mississippi. And he's 93 years old today. In 1937, R&B singer Eddie Floyd, who did Knock on Wood, was born in Montgomery, Alabama. He's 89 today. In 1943, singer Carly Simon was born in New York City. She's 83 as well. In 1947, comedian Jimmy J.J. Walker on Good Times was born in the Bronx. He's 79 years old today. In 1949, actress Brenda Sykes was born in Shreveport, Louisiana. She's 77 today. In 1949, sports. Well, you did this one already, so I'm going to bypass Phyllis George. But anyway, she died in 2020. A singer, George Michael, was born on this day in 1963, and he was born in London, England. He died December 25th, Christmas Day in 2016 at 53 years old. He was suspected of a heart failure. In 1976, actor Peter Lawford weds aspiring actress Deborah Gould 3 weeks after they met, and they were separated after 2 months. And so they were divorced in 1977. That was a quickie marriage. In 1983, actor Denzel Washington weds actress Pauletta Pearson, and I'm proud to say they're still together to this day. In 1987, actress and comedian Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld, she weds actor Brad Hall. In 1999, actor Jean-Claude Van Damme weds Gladys Portugues in Belgium. In 1999, businessman Rupert Murdoch marries his wife, who's a businesswoman, Wendy Dang, in New York City. In 2006, actress Nicole Kidman weds a second husband, singer Keith Urban. They got married in Manly, Australia, and they got divorced in 2026. 2006, actress Patricia Arquette weds actor Thomas Jane, and Thomas Jane, his name is right. And they got married in Venice, Italy. In 2006, Wyatt Earp, the actor back in the 50s, his name is Hugh O'Brien. That's his real name. He weds Virginia Barber in Glendale, California. In 2016, singer Jill Scott, she weds her longtime boyfriend, Mike Dobson, in a private ceremony. In 1997, actress Lauren Holly divorces actor and comedian Jim Carrey after 9 years of marriage. And let's see. Songwriter Johnny Mercer died on this day in 1976 at 66 years old from brain cancer. He was born November 18th, 1909 in Savannah, Georgia. In 1985, R&B singer, blues guitarist, and singer Pee Wee Clayton dies of a heart attack at 70 years old. Actress Farrah Fawcett died on this day in 2009 at the age of 62 years old from anal cancer. She was born February 2nd, 1947 in Corpus Christi, Texas. And at the same day, Michael Jackson died
That's right.
at the age of 50 years old.
Yeah.
And he died from a cardiac arrest induced by overdose of prescription drugs. And he was born August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana. And finally, 2007, comedian Bill Dana dies at the age of 92 years old. So that's what's happening on this day in history. And if you happen to know anything that's happening on this day in history, please let us know. We would love to hear it. And we'll put it out there so everyone can see. Okay. Now, if you want to get in touch with me and Brian, you want to talk sports with Brian, you want to talk entertainment with me, or you just want to talk, shout out. All you have to do is contact us, email us. You could email us or call us. I'll give you the email address. Email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan, Frank Allan. And Prod is Prod. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. You can contact us, and you don't have to do it for any particular reason. You can just contact, even if it's just to say hello. We read them all. We hear them all. Just again, it's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Only two movies I have for you this week. And I go into Turner Classic Movie Vault and pick out the classics, the best ones I could find for your entertainment. They're classics, some black and white, some color, but I picked them out and I think you'll like them. So let's start off right now. From 1956, this is called Forbidden Planet, starring Walter Pidgeon, Anne Francis, and Leslie Nielsen. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can see that Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. One of the classics. Sort of like maybe it's in between horror, a little bit of horror.
Leslie Nielsen could play anything. Comedy, he plays everything.
Yeah, he did it. He did it all.
Yeah.
But you'll see him on Forbidden Planet, and that's Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Here's something that goes back to 1955 that, by the way, I know this for a fact. I know this off the top of my head. It made the Academy Award. It got the Academy Award from 1955. This is called Marty with Ernest Borgnine. And it made the best picture of that was the best picture of 1955, starring Ernest Borgnine, Betsy Blair, and Joe Mandel. Joe Mandel, that's Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So that's a movie that you don't get a chance to see too often. Now, you can go on Turner Classic Movies, and you can check the listings because there's more. There may be others that I didn't mention because these are my picks of the week, and you can go back and check out more that you may like or something that you see that you say, oh, I like that movie. How come he didn't mention that? That is just my picks. But you can add it to your list as well. And while you're there, if you still have your cable, you can check out more of some of the free movies there. You have pay-per-view movies, movies for the kiddies, documentaries, and sporting events, all of that, right at your disposal. So let me tell you about these movies once again. Forbidden Planet, Walter Pidgeon, Anne Francis, Leslie Nielsen, Turner Classic Movies, Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and Marty with Ernest Borgnine, Betsy Blair, and Joe Mandel. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. I hope you get a chance to watch these movies. They're all classics. I think you'd like them. David Clayton Thomas, the lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, whose husky, high-strung tenor on The Spinning Wheel, that's the song The Spinning Wheel, and When I Die, and other hits, helped make the so-called brass rock band among the most popular acts of the 1960s has died. Now, his spokesperson said that Clayton Thomas died peacefully Wednesday at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto, Canada, but there was no specific cause that was mentioned of his death, and Clayton Thomas was 84 years old. He's the one that did what goes up must come down, spinning reel round and round. I'm sorry, we're going to miss him. He was 84 years old. You know, Brian, your buddy boy did it again.
Boy,
Your buddy boy did it again. He embarrassed himself. I'm pretty sure. Now here we are. We're getting ready to celebrate. Um, we're getting ready to celebrate the birth of our country, the birthday of our country.
Yes.
Some will be celebrating, some won't be celebrating for certain reasons, but it's going to be coming. There was the Trump rally. They call it, this was the theme, the Trump rally, the Great American State Fair. It was a celebration, and this is supposed to be a celebration for the 250th birthday of this country. But it was all about him. And Brian, if you want to see it, I scanned through some of it. I wasn't going to watch. It was like over 2.5 hours, a little bit over 2.5 hours. And you would think after the Obama thing, with all of those big acts that he had, you would think he would even try to get someone notable, but it was nothing but an army band, I think a military band, and they were doing the singing. They had people who were doing solos and doing the singing, and the best he can do was get Lee Greenwood.
Who's that?
Lee Greenwood. That was the best he could do. Lee Greenwood sang his song. The only song that I know of him it's called "God Bless the USA." I hate that song. I hate that song. You probably heard it. I'm proud to be an American, or at least I think I am, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he embarrassed himself, Brian. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on YouTube.
I did not see this at all. What is it he has to do to continue to get attention? He's desperate. He's reaching now. Obviously, he's reaching. He's desperate just to get people's attention, just to get. It's like that. You know what? I truly believe that he thinks that his time is coming up short, but he's trying to do all he can to get things in his name, which backfires. You don't do that against a Kennedy, try to change the name. And he's just trying to get attention. And I think his followers are now, even the Republican Party is now getting really disgusted with him. And this is really a shame, because now it's like he's done all he can to make an ass out of himself. But he's still fighting.
Yeah.
He's still fighting. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't get it.
He certainly made an ass out of himself last night. And I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you more. He was introduced by Lee Greenwood while he was singing his song. And there were some people there, but it wasn't a mass crowd. There were people that they were bored to hell, as a matter of fact. There were people there lying on the grass, casually, and they were the people that came. They wanted to take pictures of the air show that came aboard and the fireworks or whatever show that they had going. When they introduced Donald Trump and he started making his speech, you would think he would be talking about America, the achievements of America back in the past, but it was all about him. It was all about him. And you could see people filing out. When he got on stage, when they introduced him, they filed out. And the people who were, it was all MAGA. It was all MAGA, by the way. It was all MAGA. It wasn't bipartisan.
Wow.
And people who were wearing the MAGA caps, you could see them walking out in rows. People were walking out, and the crowd was getting thinner and thinner when he started speaking.
Oh gosh.
And then now he has something coming up for the 4th of July. And he's telling the people, he says, I want you all to come out, fill up the seats, because if there are 2 seats empty, the as he called it, the fake news are going to say, "Oh, they didn't turn out." I wonder if this guy ever watches himself on TV to see how he actually looks.
You know, I don't think he really cares about that. I really don't believe he really cares about that. He is trying to do so much in little. It's like that. His time is short, but He's trying his best to get attention. Only a child does. A child will only do that to
Mhm.
seek attention, to
Yeah.
seek followers and everything.
Mhm.
It's not working. It's not working at all, and I just don't get it.
It certainly isn't. I mean, like his wrestling thing, not his fights or whatever that thing he was doing on the White House lawn, that took a dive. This thing took a dive. And what makes you think that the 4th of July, when he does his speech, and he's gonna be the headliner?
Out of curiosity, did you? I didn't get a chance to look it up. Maybe I have to look it up. What was the Nielsen ratings for his birthday celebration at the White House with the UFC? I'm curious to know what was
That's something I have to look at that myself, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was pretty low. Because you got to remember, these people are not watching this. People, and I guess that maybe if they're watching it for their own amusement. But the people who are actually supporting this thing, they're MAGA people.
I'm curious to know what's going to happen. First things first, let me make this clear. I don't want nothing bad to happen on the 4th of July. Um, Even though I have my personal feelings about the 4th of July in recent years since this president took over, I'm just curious to know what's going to happen, if something's going to backfire, is something going to not be successful. But 250 years is a milestone. And that's a quarter. Well, that's a quarter of a century. Or am I saying it right? But it's just 250 years of this of independence. What's going to happen? I'm curious to know what is going to happen. I don't want nothing bad to happen, but what kind of entertainment is there going to be entertainment? Is there going to be a crowd? I know that security is going to be really tight. The Secret Service is going to be on point.
Something like that, you would think 250 years, you would think, oh, this is going to be big. This is huge. And this is huge. And entertainers from all over
Yeah.
will fly in and entertain. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be, but it's about him. It's about him. He'll go up there and he talks about we're doing good, the country is doing good, and
Country is
prices are
that
going
doing?
down. That's what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about at these events. And the 4th of July, when he has the 4th of July, whatever he's doing then, he's telling people to come out, fill up the seats. It's going to be the same thing.
Well,
Everything is,
he's going to tell the American people, we've done great things.
but
We
that's what
wiped them out. You don't have to worry about Iran. They have a low IQ. Their president have a low IQ, you know. But I tell you one thing, he better be careful. You're going to turn your back on Israel.
mm,
Now we're talking biblical stuff now.
mm,
Israel has always been a friend to us. And now the people in Israel, the prime minister, is getting sick and tired of his BS.
mm-hmm.
Stay tuned.
Well, you know something? It's all about him. I mean, he's not going to rest because he's got everything on he's got his name stamped on everything. He's screwing up everything. He's effing up everything. For instance, the reflective pool, which has all of that green algae, that green monsters coming out of it. The reflective pool and the wild is killing the wildlife. They found a couple of dead ducks in there. And then he's talking about this ballroom. That place looks like hell. It looked like a war zone.
Mm.
He's got and now he's talking about building that arch so people could drive through it. And that gold plaster in the Oval Office, by the way, it's not real gold. He stuck that on there with magic glue. It's
Crazy,
all about him.
crazy.
And we're not doing good because this war, the longer this war stays on, and everybody's starting to feel the hit in their pocket.
And
They're
they're
starting
beginning to feel that we lost this war too.
yeah.
He has made this country take a step backwards. He has.
We've got 5 months before election day, and people are worried about uh, overturning elections and mail ballots and ICE agents at the polls. But people, listen to me very carefully. When you go to vote, take your camera with you. Just in case you see something suspicious or crazy, document it. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow, but right now we got to cut out. Brian, thanks a lot.
Yes.
We're going to see you tomorrow, right?
Yes. Mary, good night. And when I say good night, good night. I'm tired.
Okay. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you back here tomorrow, me and Brian, for the coffee hour. We're here at 10 a.m. And of course, Brian will have the direct sports for you. And then we'll come back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. for more of Talk Back Live. In the meantime, have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night. See you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with Frank Allan and Brian Camp. The producers are Al Dale and Patina Camp. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.